Hello friends, welcome back to our channel, The Catalyst, our home of solutions. So today we are going to answer June 2025, that is Advanced Level Computer Science Paper 3. This paper is supposed to be answered in 2 hours. So we are going to try as much as possible to maximize the time, okay? So straight away we'll move to the first part of the question. Section A, which is on database. Now, Section A, Tax 1 says the database of a certain football association is structured as shown by the tables below. The primary keys of each relation is marked with an asterisk. So we can see here we have the player table with player ID as the primary key, and then we can see the other attributes, and I've given the data types and what to follow for each of the tables. Now, in a relational database management system of your choice, help the football association to implement its database through the following actions. Create the tables above using your RDBMS. Write the corresponding SQL code used for each table in the spaces provided below. So we'll start with player. Now, there's one thing I noticed. I noticed that all the tables do have foreign keys, and there is no way you can put constraints on these tables while you are creating them. Okay, you cannot do that while you are creating them. It means you cannot say that for a club ID is a foreign key while you are creating a player table, as well as in club table. You cannot say that coach ID is a foreign key while you have not yet created the coach table. And even in the coach table, we still have foreign keys. So there's a little bit of mix up there. It is not possible to create these tables while you put constraints. So what we'll do is we'll just create the tables as though they were not foreign keys, and then after creating the tables, now we'll add the constraints. So that's what we'll do. So without wasting time, let's go into WAM server. So in WAM server, we'll create a database. We'll give it a name, say football. Okay, we'll just call it football. Create. Then we'll start creating the tables. So the first table, as we can see here, is player. Okay, it's player, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fields. So here I will add it to 6. Okay, so I will call the table player. Voila. So I'm going to create it, and my attributes, the first is player ID, which is a primary key, it's a text. So player, I will start with player ID, which is a text version of size 6. Okay, size 6. The size is 6, and then it's a primary key. So I've done that. I will move to the next attribute, which in this case is club ID, is text of size 10. Okay, so I'll see insert, even though it's supposed to be a primary key, a foreign key, but I will just create it as though it is not. Okay, so I'll move to name, which is a text of size 30. So name is a version size 30. Sorry. Next attribute is position, number, short text. Okay, so I'll use position. It is small text. Okay, small text in spreadsheet in the WAM server. Okay, next attribute is match page, number, long text. So I'll use match plate. So on well, we don't have long text, or we use integer. Okay. Um. So the next is goals, which is also integer. Goals, also integer. So we'll choose the storage engine as InnoGP. Once we've done that, we'll click on I think this save. We'll first of all copy this, yes, to create the table. So this is it. This is the SQL command we use to create the table, which I will just put down here. Okay, this is the space allocated for creation of table. So I will paste it here. So it's supposed to look like this, something like this. Sorry. So something like this. That's for player. Now let's move to club. Okay, let's save. I've created a table. This is it here. We do not have foreign keys yet. So I'll create the next table, which I'll call club. Okay, now club has how many fields? Let's check over here. Club has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields. So I have presently 4. So I'll add 1. So we have the first is club ID, which is the primary key. So club ID is the primary key, is text of size 10. So we'll put Vasha 10, and under index we choose primary key. Go. So the next is coach ID, which is also a text of size 10. Okay, we have coach ID, Vasha size 10. Next field is country of size 10. So country is also a Vasha size 30. We move on. Sorry, no titles or number of titles. Sorry, number of number titles. So what is the data type? It's a number of short text. Okay, so it's small int. Next is year creation. Creation year creation is date. Okay, date. So we'll choose here InnoDB, and I will still copy the SQL command over here and paste it down here for club. I'll paste it there and adjust things the way it ought to look like. So So that's it. That's how it looks supposed to look like. Okay. We'll move to coach, the last table. So let me save this table created. I'll move to the last table now. Coach. Coach has how many fields? Let's check. Coach has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 fields, and we have 4 here. So add 2 and it will go. So we have this and we change this to InnoDB. So the first, of course, is going to be coach ID. Okay, so coach ID is of type text size 10. Okay, so Varsha size 10 and then index primary. I will click on go. So the next is club ID of size. Club ID is a Varsha of size 10. Next is name, which is of size 10. Name. Oh, club is Varsha, please. This is also Varsha size 30. Sorry, awesome. I'm not really feeling fine. So sorry about the funny sound you get. So title is a number short text. So you choose a small int. Okay. Next is nationality. Nationality is a Varsha size 20. So nationality is a Varsha size 20. And lastly, what do we have? Age, number short int. So we have age, small int. Okay, so with this now, let me copy the SQL command to create the table, copy, move down here, and I'll paste. Okay, so with this now, I will arrange everything so that it looks exactly like it ought to be. If you are to write it down, that's what you are supposed to write down. So that's it. We will create it over here too. So we have created all our tables. Now let's move to the next question. Draw an entity relationship diagram involving the 3 tables stated above. Now we cannot draw the ER diagram without indicating the constraints, that's the foreign keys in each of the tables. So this is where we'll now go in each of these tables. Here we'll go to relational, we'll go up. Okay, please observe for each of these tables we'll go up here. So I'll start with club, the first table, structure, and then I'll go up to relational view. I have to turn this coach ID to a foreign key. So I'll click on this, I'll add the constraint. What is the column? It is club ID. Club ID coming from the club. Is it coach ID? Sorry, coming from coach table, and that's it. Then I will click on save. Once I've added that constraint, I will move to the next table, coach, because constraints we have them in all the tables. In this other table, it is going to be club ID that will add the constraint as a foreign key. So we'll choose club ID. Wait, which table is this? Okay, coach. We'll choose club ID, and club ID is coming from club table, and that is it. We save. This is the constraint that has been added, as you can see there. We'll move to player 2. Player table was a content is still club ID, so I'll go over here, club ID from club table, voila, and then I'll click on save. With that now, if we go to our relationship now, everything will be okay. To create the relationship between these tables now, I will click on more designer. Okay, you can see the designer appears when you, so we can see our tables already related, they are already linked. Okay, so we have this table, according to the way the database looks like. We are supposed to have something like this, which for me is somehow bizarre. Okay, I think there was an error, there must be maybe a mistake, but it's okay. That's how it's supposed to look like if you have to follow what was given to us. Okay, so that's how it's supposed to look like. So that's the ER diagram. So you can save your as entity relationship diagram. You click on go, and we are done with that question. So let's move. So you can easily do that. I can still decide that okay, I'll just do a snapshot of this. Okay, and put it there. So I will use, voila. So I don't know if this is possible to take. Okay, there was no paste, so that is what was supposed to be done. Okay, this is it. I thought it did not paste. This is our ER diagram which I can put here. Okay, so now for each table in your database, add and save 5 records of data consistent with your column entries. So we are supposed to do records. But now, how do we do records when all those tables are related? How do we do that? It means we are supposed to remove the constraints, and then we create the tables first before we populate the tables first before we 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 put back the constraints, because it's not possible to do that. So I'm going to remove the constraints from the tables. I'm going to remove the constraints from each of these tables. If not, it will not be possible for us to populate. Okay, so after removing now, I'm going to try to insert. In fact, I have to do it for all. So I'm going to remove the constraint here also. I'll remove that delete and update constraint, and the last one here. So I'll start with club insert. Okay, so club ID, they gave us some, which records can I use here? Let me see if I can just come up with some records to populate the table. Okay, so the first I will put 21A 001. Okay, and I'll move to the coach ID. Coach ID may be uh, Barca 001. Okay, 001, something like this. Country. Wait, which table is this? It's club table. Sorry, club table was supposed to start with club ID. So the club ID cannot be this. Instead, this is the club ID. Okay, club ID. Uh, Next is coach ID. Channel 001. Country Spain. Number of titles 25. Um, date date of creation. Uh, we cannot enter a date. Maybe okay. Let's just say it was created 1899. 1899. 11 month, and the year on the day was 29th of November for the first record. We move to the next. So they said we should do how many records? 5 records each. So I am supposed to increase the number of records to 5. Make it 5. So let's move to the second record now. Club ID. Uh, we have real real M0000 or 00. As simple as that. Coach ID. We have and Cebu 01. Okay, country Spain. Number of titles 23. And creation, year of creation, we have year of creation 1902 hyphen second of second month, no, it's third month 06. Okay, we move to the next record, which is Bayern. Bayern 00. Coach ID Nagel 01. Country Germany. Number of titles 10. Year of creation 1900. 0227. Next is Chelsea. Chelsea. Chelsea 00. Coach ID Touché 01. Country oh, England. Number of titles we have 6. Year creation 1905 of second month of 1905 of third month of the 10th day. Okay, so the last record now under that is month 00. The coach is Socks 01. The coach ID country England, and number of titles 20. Year of creation we have 1878 1106. Voilà. So that is it. We are going to add this. So this is the SQL command which was used to add. Okay, that's the SQL command which I'm going to copy. I'm going to copy now, and well, we don't have space to do that, so I will just continue populating the tables. Okay, so we'll move to coach table. We can see the records have been made already. Here they are. Okay, here are the records in the club ID. So we'll move to coach now. Insert, of course. So we'll start with the coach table now. The first is Chel 000. So we'll start with Chel 001. That is now that's the coach. Now club ID, that's 00, and name Roland Coleman. The coach is Roland Coleman. It's just the title, number of titles, titles 5. Yeah, and nationality, Netherlands. Okay, Netherlands, and age is 58. Okay, that is at that time. With number of records, we are supposed to do 5 too. So let's go to the second. So the second coach is ID is Ansible. Ansible 01. Real Madrid 00. The name of the coach is Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo and LOT, title activity, number of titles, 7, nationality Italy, and age 62. So I think after this we are just going to rush up with the video because it's going to take some time to do that, to populate. So I'll populate it and then we'll move to the next question. Okay, so let me do these records and then for this table, and then the rest will be done uh, in the background. Okay, so I have this club ID is club ID by 0. Yeah, the name of the coach of Bayern back then was Na- Julian Nagelsmann. Julian Nagelsmann. Titles, he had 3 titles. Nationality Germany. Age 48. Alright, not 34. Sorry. Um, we move to the last code. Is it last or second to the last? We see have okay 2 records to do. So we have to shells 00 name Thomas Duchel. Thomas Duchel. Okay, number of titles 2. Nationality German. That's Germany. And age 48. And then the last striker name, his full name's always only gonna of okay. One title, nationality Norway, age 48. Okay, so we've done the records. So the rest of the other records will be done in the. Okay, so welcome back. We can clearly see now that all the tables have been created. Okay, we can see the club table as you can see there, populated. We can see the coach table populated and the player table populated too. Okay, so with that now we can put back the constraint. Okay, if we put the constraint, it's not going to cause any problem. So this is the player table. So I can put back the constraint for club. Go to coach also put back the constraint so that we will not have, because without the constraints we are going to have redundancy. Okay, so let's put them back. And lastly club, the last one is club, the constraint. And under the club we have coach and coach and So there's no issue there. So let's move to the next question now that says print out the content of your table. So you can just snap and put okay. In your database, create an SQL query that displays the names of players and of their coaches. So let's go up here. So we'll go to queries. To do that, you click on the database, then you go to queries. So the first table, what's the name of the first table we have here? The name of the attribute to display is the names of players. So I'll go here, player, I will choose name first. Secondly, what do I need? The name of their coaches. So I'll go to coach, name, okay, name of the coach. Then who scored above 400 goals. Okay, so it means goals are also important. So I'll go to player goals. The criteria is that it should be above, so greater than put 100. Okay, for the goals. Next is and played less than 800 matches. So number of matches also matter. So player match played criteria. They said what less than 800 matches. So it should be less than here. And then 80 matches. Is it 80 or 800? 80 matches. And also write below the query statements. Okay. Okay. So what we'll do is we also have to put some constraints because we see that a player is linked to a club. Okay. And a club is also linked to a coach. So what we'll do is we'll put constraints because if we run it the way it is, look at this. If I update the query, this is what we'll have. And if we run, this is what we'll get. Okay. We see that we have duplicates. How can Cristiano Ronaldo, the coach, be Ronald Coleman? So we are having duplicates. So we have to solve that. And to solve that, we'll add some conditions, which will see the first, according to this, will be that player club ID equals to club.club ID. So we'll go up here. I don't need to tick this. I will say player club ID. Okay, criteria is equals to I will choose still club ID. Okay, so that is the first. The second condition will be that club ID is also found. Club ID is also found in coach. So we need to put this way. Club ID will not show it, but we tick the criteria. It should be equals to another table, which in this case is coach ID. Okay, so let's update our query. Then yeah, and submit. So it doesn't give us what. Okay, we're supposed to add the third, which is coach. The third table was supposed to be coach. Clock instead. Clock. Still no output. Oh, wow. Oh, mm. So let me even put alias so that we'll not mix up those names. So as then input the name of so it has given me longer time than expected. Player's name. Mm-hmm. And then you as coach. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So this one is as match played over there. Uh-huh. Mm. So you see where the mistake was. It was over here. There was no and here. I was wondering why. Voila. So that's our result. So those are the two players we have. Those are the two players we have. And we can see the output here. So c'est bon. We copy the code and we will now move to this, write the SQL command here. I was wondering why the output was not giving us what we expected. Okay, so that is it. And save the queries file as names of players and print a copy of it. So this is the output here. So I'm going to print it and I will paste it to so c'est bon. So that is it for database. See you in the next section, which will be on programming. Thank you very much.